Good morning. So, for those that saw my post, I'm going to elaborate. For those that didn't, well, this is what the post was about. 9 years ago today, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. It was a long journey. Obviously, I survived. Please get checked, men and women. If you have breasts, you can have breast cancer. So it's not just a woman's disease. I know many men who have gone through breast cancer. It's a tissue disease. It's not a sex disease, okay? It was quite the battle. I was in St. Louis. My family was hundreds of miles away. I would not have survived without my friends. My coworkers were amazing. They were there from beginning to end. I'm still in touch with them. I don't work for them, obviously, anymore. I'm in another state, but we're still close. And they were amazing and brilliant and fun, and they took care of me. Everything from, at one point, Clay and her husband brought me Chinese food in the hospital. Lynn babysat my cats. I mean, I had a good group of people. They just mean the world to me. They truly do. And I will love them forever and a day. Getting the diagnosis was scary. When I was diagnosed in February. In March, I got my second opinion, and the cancer had already spread to both breasts. So it was time for surgery, which we booked for May because we needed to finish some more chemo. So, okay, that's what we did. Went on a vacation with my best friend to Canada for a few days. Came back and had a double mastectomy. Could have been better, could have been worse. My surgeon, Sam Kababi, is brilliant. I can't say enough good things about Sam. If I ever had to have surgery, cosmetic surgery, I would go back to St. Louis and have Sam do it. I'm sure Scottsdale has brilliant people. I trust Sam. I know Sam. That's who I would go to. Without any hesitation, I would fly back. It was interesting that I learned so much about myself. My initial response upon getting my diagnosis and upon finding out I'm going to have surgery was, I can't do this, I'm alone. Well, you can do it. You can. And I did. The day I found out I was having surgery, I was sitting in my car crying, and I was on the phone to my best friend. And I looked up, and walking across the parking lot was a family that had been in the waiting room with me, and she had been on chemo for a long time. She had very aggressive cancer, and it was to the point there's not a lot anybody could do anymore. And by the way they looked, the kids were crying, the husband was crying, she was crying. I knew what they had been told. And I remember telling Gary, is my best friend of over 10 years. I remember telling Gary, I got to get through this because I have to find a way to help these people going through this. Because they had told me that they didn't have any family, and it's just their little nuclear family, that's it. And I felt so bad for them. And then I quit feeling sorry for myself, and I started worrying about other people. And 9 years later, here we are. I'm working with cancer patients, chronic pain patients, and of course my trauma therapy people. But I found a way to help them, and that's what matters. So in my situation, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack, a lot of negative feedback on this comment, but for me, going through this was a positive thing because now I understand firsthand what these families are going through. I lost my mom to lymphoma, so I understand from the family aspect. And as a nurse, I've seen it for years, and I understand from a medical aspect, clinically. But honey, when it's you, it's a whole different story. Now I know. So when I talk to a family or to cancer patients, newly diagnosed, it's okay. I've been there. I truly understand. My best friend, Gary, has multiple myeloma. I understand what it's like when your best friend has cancer and is battling. So in my situation, all the pieces came together for a reason. And like I said, I know this is going to catch a lot of flack and whatever, but everything that happened in my life has brought me to where I am today. And I think that's a good thing. I pray you never go through cancer. Your loved ones don't have to go through cancer. I want you to understand medical personnel, healthcare in general, we have a lot of weight on our shoulders. And people will walk out of a doctor's office and say, they don't give a damn. They really don't care about me. I'm just a number. I'm just a case. I'm just a cancer. Mm-mm. There's a persona you have to put on in the office. And when that patient walks out, you go in your office and you sit down and you cry. Trust me. My friends are doctors. I know how things hit them because they call me and we talk. You're not just a case. They have to be strong. They have to put on a persona. Stay professional. But trust me, they have big hearts. And those big hearts break. When somebody you care about, a patient that you just think they're just the sweetest family, and you have to give them bad news. So, don't judge. Lastly, if you are a family, remember self-care. Caregivers need to take care of themselves. If you are the patient and you're going through chemo, it's your cancer. You call the decisions. You call the shots. It's up to you. Your decisions may not be popular. People, because I hear this all the time, I'll have somebody that's diagnosed and they've been on chemo for a while and they're to the point, they're older, they're tired, they're ready to stop chemo. That's their decision. And family members will say, oh, you're just being selfish. You're not thinking about anybody but yourself. Really? Well, who are you thinking about? You're just thinking about yourself. Don't be selfish. Have a family meeting, mediate, have somebody sit and hear all sides and discuss everything openly, rationally, calmly, because everybody's opinion matters. Everybody deserves to be heard. But keep in mind, whoever has the cancer, it's their decision. Of course, a child is a little bit different. But don't make them just go through chemo to keep them alive for you. That's selfish on your part. Let them enjoy life. It's about quality of life, enjoying life, being happy, being able to celebrate holidays and birthdays and anniversaries and ball games and picnics. So keep it in mind, okay? And every day they get closer to a cure. Not close enough. It's a work in progress.